Now, Hillary Clinton has received a significant amount of criticism about not releasing her transcripts for speeches she gave to Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs is not the only bank or financial institution she gave speeches to. I want to tell you about the rest. And then this is just in the period of 2013 to 2015 after she stepped down from being Secretary of State. And this is not campaign contributions. All this money went straight into her own pocket, which then makes this a whole different level of corruption. So let's first give you the facts. According to public disclosures, The Intercept writes, by giving just 12 speeches to Wall Street banks, private equity firms, and other financial corporations, Clinton made $2,935,000 from 2013 to 2015. It's not a bad living, right? 12 speeches. The speeches are about an hour long. I understand it takes a little bit of time to get there. It takes a little bit of time to schmooze the bankers before and afterwards. But in essence, it's an hour-long speech. For 12 hours of work, she made $2.9 million. By the way, she's opposed to the $15 minimum wage. She's now bragging about trying to take credit for what happened in New York with a $15 minimum wage. She's on the record as being against it. But her minimum wage is $225,000 per hour. That's literal. In fact, let me show you a list of the banks that she gave speeches to in that time period. As you can see, they're all $225,000. That's her minimum wage per hour. That's how long the speeches are. So that's Ameriprise, Apollo Management, Bank of America, Canadian Imperial Bank, Deutsche Bank, Fidelity Investments, Golden Tree Asset Management, Goldman Sachs, obviously Morgan Stanley, UBS. Now, if you're wondering why it's $675,000 to Goldman Sachs, she gave 3 speeches there. Now, she doesn't want to release those transcripts. Let me ask you something. After the first speech where they paid her $225,000, if she said something they didn't like, do you think they would have invited her back a second time or a third time? No, they liked what they were hearing. That's why she doesn't want to release those transcripts. Because when she goes over there, not only does she take the money and put it in her pocket, but it's also a way of doing advertising for when she runs for president. She knows she's going to run for president. So she's telling all of them, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. And by the way, she can disprove me any minute. Release the transcripts, show us what you actually said. We already have insiders that have leaked to Politico, among others, saying, yeah, of course she kissed our ass. What do you think we paid her the money for? But understand, the other thing she's doing is advertising, saying, hey, when I run, don't forget to give to my political campaign as well. Oh, it's a twofer. That's why they keep inviting her back, because they like what she said. Those bankers love what she said. Now, look, is it wrong to get paid for the speeches? It depends. It's not blanket wrong. So, for example, comedians go and get paid for acts that they do on college campuses. Am I against Chris Rock, Jon Stewart, whoever getting money for that? No. Sometimes people get paid for speeches. I've gotten paid for speeches in the past. Tiny amount, nothing like this, right? But it's a way to get you out to somewhere you might not necessarily have gone because they want to hear from you. God bless. $225,000? They really want to hear from you that much? Over and over and over again? No. That's not because they're interested in hearing from you. That's because they're interested in giving you the money for some return. Bernie Sanders has talked about this. You think the bankers are stupid? You think they're like, I mean, for 40 years we've been giving to the Clintons. Golly gee, they keep screwing us over. Okay, let's try it one more time. No. For 40 years they've been giving to the Clintons because every year the Clintons have delivered for them. She says, oh, name me anything that is that my vote has been influenced on. Yeah, the bankruptcy bill. Before you were in office and before you got these paid speeches and the campaign contributions, you were against the bankruptcy bill. After you got all those contributions and you became a senator from New York and you got those contributions from the banks, you switched your vote. And you were like, oh, yeah, the banks, no, people shouldn't be let out of bankruptcy easily. No, the banks should crush them and make sure they get every penny out of them. So there, I just showed it to you. By the way, there's many other examples as well. Okay, now let me give you more details. In 2011, the Census Bureau estimated that across all majors, a bachelor's degree holder can expect to earn $2.4 million over his or her work life. Now, I give you that for context. She made $2.9 million from 12 speeches. If you go to school, you go to college, and you work your whole life, on average, you're going to make $2.4 million. Your whole life. She did it. She got a lot more than that in just 12 hours. Is this corruption? I can't quite tell. Okay, a Pew Research analysis published the same year estimated that a typical high school graduate can expect to make just $770,000 over the course of his or her lifetime. So if you don't have a college degree, you're only going to make $770,000 your whole life. She makes more than that in just 4 speeches. She made almost that same amount from just the 3 speeches she gave to Goldman Sachs. 3 hours of work. Is this corruption? No, it's actually a little bit worse than that. Because when they give the money to her campaign, that's corruption. When they give the money straight to her, that's closer to bribery. Now, you're not supposed to say that because that ruffles feathers in Washington and New York. The establishment media hates it when you use words like bribery. But what is this? I mean, is she a comedian? Is she an entertainer? Why is she not releasing the transcripts? I'll release the transcripts of any speech I've ever given, free or paid or anything else, because I'm proud of those speeches, right? But in her case, mum's the word. No, they didn't pay her for the speech. They didn't pay her because it was a really entertaining speech. They paid her in advance of services rendered. This used to be called bribery, especially at these numbers. Now, wait till you get a load of the larger numbers. So, the Associated Press notes that during Hillary Clinton's time as Secretary of State, Bill Clinton earned $17 million in talks to banks, insurance companies, hedge funds, real estate businesses, and other financial firms. So after she leaves office, they give her nearly $3 million directly to her. But while she's Secretary of State, right, and influencing the government and possibly future president, they knew she was going to run from day one after she lost to Barack Obama. They're giving her husband, which, by the way, they share the same bank account, so it might as well be her, $17 million on top. This used to be called bribery. You think they gave $17 million to Bill Clinton? Because they're like, God damn it, what an amazing speech. I want to hear that again. Here's another $500,000. Here's another $225,000 to Hillary Clinton. No. These guys look for return on investment. They're bankers. Their job is to look for return on investment. You would have to be preposterously naive to think, no, the bankers did this out of the goodness of their hearts. Bankers don't care about profit. They don't care about return on investment. They don't care about services rendered. They just like to give money away. Yeah, they just give it. Oh, and you worked against my interests. Oh, great, no problem. Here, give me another speech. I'll give you another couple $100,000. It's preposterous to think that. No rational human being can think that. Now, let me give you one final number here for the scope of how much the Clintons have raised through these speeches. Altogether, the couple are estimated to have made over $139 million from paid speeches. Damn, Clintons, there you go again with those speeches. Now, there's many different companies and countries and outfits that give money to the Clintons for these speeches, but they all have a purpose. If it's a foreign leader, sometimes tyrants, they like to have a shiny picture with Bill Clinton shaking hands. It gives them legitimacy, it gives them credibility. If they're bankers, they're looking for legislation to deregulate. That's exactly what Bill Clinton gave them back in 1999 before he left office. He removed Glass-Steagall, and that allowed them to gamble with depositor money. Before you want to make your own investments, you want to gamble with your own money, okay. Now they get to gamble with our money, thanks to Bill Clinton. Services rendered.